I pulled up to the gas station just as my truck's fuel gauge hit empty. It was one of those places that felt like it hadn't seen a human in years. Not a soul in sight except for one old guy inside. I wasn't worried, though. I've been through worse. Stepping out, I saw this poster taped to the gas station door. A beat-up, sun-fatted image of a clown, dead ease, crack kid makeup with 4 words, "Beware the Midnight Clown." Real cute. Small towns always had their urban legends. I wasn't buying into it. Clowns don't scare me. What scared me was running out of gas in the middle of nowhere. Inside, I filled up a coffee cup. Black, no sugar. The guy behind the counter, Stan, looked like he hadn't seen a shower in weeks. Greasy hair, a cigarette dangling from his lips. He grunted as I approached. "You ever hear about the clown sightings?" he asked out of nowhere, his voice gravelly. "Folks around here say it's real, always after midnight." I laughed, more out of awkwardness than anything else. "You gotta be kidding me. People really believe that?" He didn't laugh, didn't even crack a smile. Instead, he glanced at the clock behind him. 12:01 a.m. Then he looked outside. That's when the chill hit my spine. His dead serious expression wasn't helping, but I shrugged it off. Just some local legend to scare people like me passing through. Paid for my gas, coffee in hand, and headed back to the truck. That's when I heard it. A laugh. Faint, like a whisper on the wind, just barely there. Maybe a kid, maybe a bird, but it didn't sound right. It wasn't right. Made my skin crawl. I fired up the engine, threw the truck into gear, and drove off. I ain't superstitious, but something about that laugh stuck with me. Glancing in the rear view, the station disappeared into the dark. But that sound, I couldn't shake it. A few miles down the road, the laugh came again. Only this time, it wasn't outside. It was inside. Inside the damn truck. High-pitched, eerie as hell. My hands froze on the wheel, heart pounding in my chest. I glanced in the mirror, saw a flash of red and yellow. I spun around, but there was nothing there. "Nope," I muttered, shaking my head. "I'm just tired. Need sleep." Kept telling myself that. Kept telling myself I wasn't losing it. I pulled into a rest stop, barely lit, the kind of place where you half expect the lights to cut out the second you park. But I didn't care. I needed sleep, and this was the closest thing to safety out here. Climbed into the sleeper cab, boots still on, eyes heavy. But just as I was drifting off, there it was again. A tap on the window, then another. My breath caught in my throat. I didn't want to look, but I did. And there he was, the clown. Face pressed against the glass, grinning wide, dead eyes staring right at me. It was the same face from the gas station poster, same lifeless expression. The Midnight Clown. I fumbled for the keys, shaking like I hadn't in years, but the damn truck wouldn't start. The engine clicked, sputtered. The tapping on the window got louder. I looked again. This time his face was smeared with blood, or maybe it was my mind playing tricks, but I wasn't sticking around to find out. I grabbed the bat from under my seat, threw open the door, and stepped out, ready to swing. But the clown moved fast, dodging every hit like it was a game to him. Then he spoke. His voice, like ice crawling up my spine. "You were supposed to be my last ride, Tim. I waited too long." I froze. How the hell did he know my name? My mind raced, trying to place his voice, his face. Then it hit me like a truck. 15 years ago, my sister, gone without a trace from that carnival. This clown was there. I remembered him now. The night she vanished, he was the last thing I saw before everything went dark. The clown laughed again. "She was mine, Tim. And now so are you. You didn't stop me then. You won't stop me now." He took a step closer and I could barely breathe. Everything inside me screamed to run, but my legs wouldn't move. I swung the bat again, harder, but it was like he wasn't even there. He disappeared, reappeared, mocking me with every step, every laugh. I knew there was only one way out. I had to drive. Get the hell out of there and never look back. With everything I had left, I broke the truck's windshield, scrambled into the driver's seat. He lunged at me, but I slammed on the gas, tearing out of there as fast as the old rig would go. I didn't stop, not until I saw the first light of morning breaking through the horizon. Only then did I pull over, heart still racing, hands gripping the wheel so tight they hurt. Later, I heard the rest stop had been closed for years. Mysterious deaths. Every one of them linked to clown sightings after midnight. But I didn't need anyone to tell me that. I already knew. I lived it. And I'm never going back. Story 2. We were bored out of our minds that night. No one had anything to do. Danny, Leah, and me, just wandering around, hoping something would happen. Then Danny got that look, like he always does when he's about to do something stupid. "You ever hear about the clown on the bridge?" he asked, like he was setting up some joke. Leah rolled her eyes. But I knew Danny wasn't joking. He never is when he gets that look. "They say if you cross the bridge after midnight, a clown shows up," he continued. Leah shot him a look, her face all serious. "You're full of it, Danny." "Bet you're scared," he teased, grinning wide like an idiot. Of course, we all heard about the clown, but no one really believed it. It's the kind of crap people say to freak you out when you're a kid, but Danny never could resist a good dare. I don't know why, but maybe that's why we all stuck with him. There was nothing to lose, and honestly, we were just bored enough to go along with his stupid plan. "Let's do it," Danny said, that cocky tone in his voice. "Let's cross the bridge tonight." By the time we got to the bridge, it was already past midnight. Everything was dead quiet, except for the sound of the river rushing below us. Danny had his camera out, ready to film the whole thing. "We'll make this go viral," he laughed. Leah looked uneasy, but Mike, well, I played along. What else was I going to do? The bridge wasn't anything special, just this old rusty thing no one used anymore. We walked halfway across, nothing but the sound of our footsteps and the river below. That's when we saw it, floating there near the edge, tied to the railing, a single red balloon. "Is that it?" Danny scoffed, walking right up to it. Without thinking, he grabbed the balloon, popped it with his fingers. "That's all they got?" He laughed, but Leah wasn't laughing. Something about the air felt wrong, colder, like the night itself had shifted. Mike said he heard footsteps behind us, but I didn't hear anything. We all turned, though, and there he was, a clown, no makeup, no costume, just some guy in dirty clothes with a ratty red wig. He was holding another balloon, and his grin... Man, I still see it. We tried to leave, of course, but the clown stepped right in our path. He just stood there, staring, grinning, while he let the balloon go. It floated towards us, slow as hell, way too slow. Leah screamed, but it was like the night swallowed the sound. I grabbed her arm and we bolted, running as fast as we could, but no matter how hard we ran, that clown, he was always behind us, matching our speed. Never running, just walking like he had all the time in the world. Panic hit us, and Danny, brave, stupid Danny, yelled, "Split up!" Leah darted back towards town. Danny took off for the river, and me, I crawled under the bridge like a coward. That's when I heard it, the laugh. That sick, twisted laugh echoing through the steel beams above me. My heart was pounding so loud I thought the clown would hear it. He wasn't just some regular guy. I knew it then. Whatever he was, it was worse. Much worse. Leah made it back to town, but no one believed her. People thought we were just messing around. Meanwhile, I stayed there, under the bridge, shaking, hearing the laugh above me. Waiting for it to find me. But it didn't. It followed Danny. Poor Danny. I don't know what happened to him exactly, but when he hit the riverbank, he saw it. The clown, standing right there by the water, watching him. Danny told us he wasn't scared of anything, but I know he was scared then. The clown's eyes, they weren't normal. Hollow, empty, black. And when it spoke, it used his mother's voice. "You should have listened, Danny." Leah couldn't shake the guilt. She kept trying to call Danny and me, but our phones went straight to voicemail. She went back to the bridge the next day, but there was no sign of us, just a single red balloon tied to the railing. Her name was written on it in black marker. A week later, the cops found Danny's body washed up on the riverbank, but it wasn't him anymore. His face was painted like a clown. His eyes were gone. No one could explain it, but Leah knew. She knew what she saw, and she knew it was after her now. She tried to leave town, but no matter where she went, the red balloons followed. In her car, outside her house, even tied to her locker at school. And every night, just before she fell asleep, she heard it, that slow, creeping laugh of the clown. And the footsteps. Always those footsteps. But Story 3, I took that job for the money. It wasn't like I had much choice. My little girl, Mia, she deserves better than a dad who's always behind on rent. But man, times were tough. 2 strikes on my record don't exactly scream, hire me. So when the night shift at that rundown convenience store opened up, I grabbed it like it was my last shot. I figured, how hard could it be? Watch the door, count the hours till sunrise. Get home. Nothing ever happens in those places. Or so I thought. It was past midnight, just me and the humming fridge. You know that feeling when the room's too quiet, like something's off? I shrugged it off, telling myself I was just tired. Then the door swings open. This guy walks in, wearing a clown mask. I'm thinking, who the hell does that? A clown mask? Gotta be a prank, right? But no, the guy's holding a gun. Not a toy, a real one. I freeze. It's like my brain just stops. He waves the gun around, tells me to open the register. My hands are shaking so bad I can barely punch the keys. I don't want to die over some loose change. But this clown, he's serious. So I hand over the cash, and then he does something weird. He lifts the mask, just for a second, like he's checking if I'm paying attention, and I see his face. Scarred, like he's been through hell. And I know that face. It's Ray. Ray, the guy I thought was dead. I knew him from prison. We weren't friends or anything, but we crossed paths. And now he's here, staring at me through that mask. He drops the mask back down like it's nothing and says, "You don't remember me, but I remember you." Then he walks out, just like that. I should have called the cops, but I didn't. Something in my gut told me not to. If Ray knows where I am, if he knows me, he knows about Mia. And that's a risk I can't take. Days pass. I try to convince myself it was just some messed up coincidence. But every night after, Ray shows up. He doesn't come inside, just stands across the street. That stupid clown mask, grinning at me through the window. Not moving, not saying a word, just watching. It's like he's waiting for something. I don't know how much longer I can take it. Every time I see that mask, my heart races like I'm back in that cell. A week later, I come home, and there's this red balloon tied to Mia's bike in the driveway. My blood runs cold. I rush inside, calling her name, tearing through the house. But she's gone. She's just gone. I'm losing it, ripping apart every room, every closet. Then I see the note. It's taped to her bedroom window. 3 words, playtime's over. I knew it was Ray. That sick bastard took her. I grab my gun and head to the store. I don't know why. Maybe I thought he'd be there. And he was. Just standing behind the counter. Like he owns the place. That clown mask grinning, mocking me. I storm in, gun drawn, shouting, "Where's my daughter?" He doesn't speak. Just holds up something small. Mia's shoe. My heart's pounding so loud I can't even think. I fire a shot, but he ducks behind the shelves. The store's a mess, cans rolling everywhere, my head spinning. I don't care. I'm tearing through the aisles, desperate, mad, ready to kill him. Finally, I corner him in the back alley, rip the mask off. And it's not Ray, it's just a kid. A teenager, trembling like he's gonna piss himself. He's sobbing, saying Ray made him do it. Said he'd kill him if he didn't wear the mask. My hands are shaking again, but not from fear this time, from rage. That's when I hear footsteps. I turn around, and there he is. Ray, the real clown. He's got Mia by the arm. She's pale, scared out of her mind, and he's smiling, that same sick grin from prison. "I told you I'd come back for you, Steve. This time, there's no getting out. I lunge at him, but Ray's fast. Too fast. He pulls a knife, and suddenly we're in it. Fists, elbows, blood. I'm fighting like I've never fought before. For Mia, for our future. Ray's strong, but I'm stronger. I get the upper hand and I don't stop. I can't. I smash his head against the pavement until he's not moving. He's dead. But the damage is done. Mia. She's safe, but she'll never look at me the same way again. She saw everything. And I know no matter how hard I try to stay clean, no matter how far I run, the past always finds a way back.